I guess so. Today I'm doing a Reddit video because I need to film and edit all in one day because otherwise I'm not gonna have time. This is a mixture of am I the arsehole and bridesmaids posts. So I think it's a lot of like, am I the arsehole related to wedding? Am I the arsehole for not wanting my bridesmaid to bring my ex to the wedding? No. I can already say no. One of my bridesmaids recently started dating my ex. When I sent out the save the dates, I didn't give her a +1, not to be hurtful, but simply because I did not want my ex at the wedding. Oh, okay, so they're already dating. That's awkward. But it's your wedding at the end of the day. But also, how are you staying friends with someone who's dating your ex? You're a bigger woman than I am. This is a day to celebrate my relationship with my fiancé, and having someone there from a painful part of my past just doesn't feel right. Plus, my parents do not like this person, rightfully so. Yeah, so I really question why the fuck your friend who you want as a bridesmaid is dating your ex. Now that people are starting to receive the save the dates, which was supposed to be a happy moment, she cannot understand my reasoning, and she has completely flipped out on me. She's been mean, rude, and trying to make me feel like I'm a horrible person for this decision. No matter how calmly I explain my reasoning, she keeps twisting it to make me the bad guy.
Shut the fuck up!
For context, she knows and is friends with everyone going. And she's not the only one without a +1. I'm really struggling with this. Am I in the wrong for not wanting my ex at my wedding? No. It's your wedding, you get to decide who goes. And I get that that's their partner, but she should be of an understanding of why you wouldn't want that person there either if she knows the history. Why on earth is she a bridesmaid? She doesn't even sound like an actual friend. This is my question. More importantly, why is OP struggling to do what she needs to do to keep her peace and celebrate her day in peace? Uninvite this person and cut her off. End of. Peace of mind guaranteed. Not the arsehole. Like I say, I would never be able to stay friends with someone who was dating my ex. Why is she still a bridesmaid? Come in. Sometimes getting out of a toxic friendship is as hard as getting out of an abusive relationship. Hey, honey. But you might still need to leave the friendship behind. Ask yourself, does she truly add anything positive to your life, or are you simply coasting along on memories? You're right. When we fall off. I've brushed him so many times today already, and he is, watch this. Blah. You touch him and he's like a cannon of confetti, but the confetti is hair, it's just... Okay, so I think I offended some of my bridesmaids with my gift expectations. Me and my family are European. My parents migrated here in the 90s, but I was born here. I've been to a handful of weddings here, but they've all been from my parents' home country or neighbouring, very similar culturally. I'm about a year out from my wedding, but I have most things planned. I was chatting about what I have left to do with some of my bridesmaids, and one of them asked me if I've made a registry yet. I kind of laughed it off and told her, we don't do that. She gave me a weird look and asked, why? I told her everyone just brings a card with cash. It's a whole thing. Everyone lines up before the reception, greets both families, and at the end give the couple the card and wishes them well. Which kind of makes sense because they can just buy what they need rather than what the couple think they need. I know people have those like registries where you register for specific things. Like at the end of the day, you're going to pay cash towards a present. Just put cash in an envelope and then they'll buy those things themselves and they can budget properly for it. They gave each other a look. And one of them said, so you just want money from everyone? And I could tell by her tone she seemed surprised or displeased. Me and my cousin tried to explain that it's easier this way and that it was meant to give the couple a head start in life. But I don't think it helped and they've been weird since. Is this really an offensive ask? No. If you're asking for a present and cash, then yes. If it's one or the other, no. And if anything, isn't it easier because you don't have to go out and just buy a fucking present? You can just go, here's some cash in an envelope. I'm still a year out, so do I throw together a registry for my American friends to not ruffle any more feathers? Update. I talked to my fiancé about what happened and he didn't realise it would create an issue, so it's good that it came up sooner rather than later. Since both of our families are from the same country and our wedding will be more culturally traditional, we decided to add this into one of the frequently asked questions on our website. Wow, you've got a website for your fucking wedding. We estimate only about 15 to 20% of our guests to be strictly American, so we also agreed to give them a heads up in person too. I also cleared things up with my bridesmaids and we both apologised to each other for the misunderstanding. I'm glad. They were much more open and understanding once I showed them videos on just how traditional our wedding will look. It shouldn't really matter, but sure. I think your friends overreacted, but it's a good insight into the fact that there are people who will find a lack of registry expectation to give cash as rude. Cash at a wedding is standard where I live in the northeast. The registry is usually just for shower gifts, but if the couple hasn't registered, I just give them cash. Yeah, it seems pretty usual. I can't get over my dad's speech at my wedding. Oh God. Oh God. I've been married for a few months now, but every time I think about my dad's speech, I get so angry and upset. I have already asked the videographer not to include it in my video. Me and my dad were close when I was growing up. I was definitely a daddy's girl. We aren't close now. He's in his 60s and can be sexist. I had a feeling this was going to be you are now going to be a homemaker. You are now an incubator only and a cook and a cleaner and a fuck buddy. You have no other expectations in life. That's what I'm expecting. I'm a bit of a feminist, so am I. And he knows this. He was very involved leading up to the wedding. In fact, he was too involved, phoning me multiple times a day and being overly bossy. He had a fight with me 2 days before and never apologised. In fact, I was so uncomfortable by it that I ended up texting him asking if we could make up, even though it was him being horrible. Now his speech. This man didn't bother to mention me or my husband, apart from saying, OP is all grown up now, I'm glad. He mentioned his own marriage twice, saying how long he is married for. This next statement was, if you don't think jokes are funny, you shouldn't be here.
As mad as a wax banana.
This is not a comedy club. This is not your stand-up moment. I instantly thought, guess I shouldn't be here when he started to read off the old ball and chain jokes he got off Google and made jokes about not listening to his wife and asking her what did you say wasn't listening. Not a single guest laughed. He then toasted to my mother-in-law, who completely blanked him because he made her uncomfortable earlier that day. When the daddy-daughter dance came around, he started crying, but honestly I was so disgusted by his behaviour. Guests were saying to me how bad it was, and it even pissed off my husband. Later on the night, I saw him flirting with my husband's boss's girlfriend.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
So I can only imagine how he treated other women. Luckily the boss was too drunk to notice. He dropped me and my husband home, as he doesn't drink, and even when I was walking to the door he said, I love me, not I love you. I had problems with other family members, but he was the worst, and it's a day I can't get back. I fucking hate when people make weddings about themselves. I've said this before, but I used to work weddings, and this used to happen all the fucking time. The amount of people that were like, it's different if you obviously got an allergy, but like people would get so picky and shit about a free meal at a wedding, and I'm like, unless you're allergic to something, shut the fuck up. This day's not about you. These people just paid for your meal. Shut up, sit down, and let them enjoy their fucking wedding. Instead, what happened was they would always go and complain to the bride, say something was wrong or they didn't get this, whatever, rather than just keeping it to them fucking selves. Really annoyed me, because that's all you're going to remember from that day is these people bitching at you about insignificant shit that no one actually really gives a shit about. But let's see what other people said. My sister is still angry at our dad over his speech at her wedding. And I've been to a wedding where the bride's dad's speech left us gobsmacked at how inappropriate it was. Please run your wedding speeches by at least one person before the wedding. It's a good bit of advice. My dad told everyone at my wedding reception I was like the first pancake. You know, the one that's fucked up, burnt, weirdly oily, etc. About a year later, I read somewhere that the first pancake doesn't always turn out badly, but if it does, it is burnt or oily due to the pan. The batter isn't burnt or damaged before it is poured in its pan, but the pan burns it. That healed something inside me. I, the batter, wasn't at fault for the surroundings and situation I found myself in as a child. I actually love that. I can do 2 more. Oh, this is a very short one. My wife watches TV while we have sex. Am I overreacting is a thing? Oh, we're saving this. I'm going to do one of those specific Reddit read-throughs at some point. So, I, 35 male, have noticed that my wife, 34 female, likes having something on in the background, usually TV. Lately, though, she'll literally turn up the volume and watch while we're in the middle of it. To me, that sounds like she's acting like this is a chore that she just wants to get over and not be involved in. I would feel so demoralised by that. The other night I stopped and asked if we could maybe just focus on each other, and she said, it's my comfort zone. I feel like I'm competing with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She says I'm being dramatic. Am I overreacting? If it wasn't a problem in your relationship previously and this is something new, and it's not like you guys are watching porn in the background or something and it's something to stimulate you, it's literally just a random TV show. If it was like something you guys were watching and then you started to fool around or whatever and then end up having sex, that's obviously something different. But what I'm saying is that she's turning the volume up while they're having sex. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Maybe you need to change up the sex so that it's more exciting for her. Like maybe go down on her or something. And maybe she'll be more inclined to like be an active participant. But that would feel like almost you were assaulting your partner because they're literally basically just laying there stock still while you... That sounds horrible. Well, that actually makes me really uncomfortable. Let's see what other people say. Sounds like she's disassociating from the act. Is she initiating the sex or are you? What's her body language or expression prior to the TV and sex? I would approach the subject gently if you attempt to ask her further about it, and I would bring it up outside the bedroom. You're not overreacting. It's normal to want that connection without a background distraction, but there's most likely a reason why she feels the need to have it on in the background during sex, and it may be a sensitive topic, one she's uncomfortable sharing at first. To be honest, you need to have an honest conversation with her. This kind of behaviour is common for people who have had sexual trauma. I was thinking that, I was like, if it didn't happen at the start and all of a sudden it started, it could be that she has been sexually assaulted and never told you about it, because it could be like a friend, a family member, a stranger. Like, unfortunately, the majority of the time it happens, as I've experienced, people who you know are more likely to sexually assault you than strangers. It could also be that we're missing part of the story. It could be that he forced himself on her and now she has to disassociate so that he doesn't do it again. We don't know the full story. Let's hopefully have a happier one to finish. I, male 27, really wish I had the courage to cancel my wedding happening in 4 weeks. I've seen people cancel it on the day. I mean, you'd lose money, but you still have time. Title says it all. Our relationship is so one-sided, it's actually ridiculous. I realised during our engagement, I'm really getting nothing out of this. Weird way to talk about your soon-to-be wife. And she doesn't seem to care. She acknowledges it, says she wants to work on things, but then does nothing about it. On top of that, our wedding has become insanely expensive. It went from $20,000 to now over $60,000. Whoa. I know some people spend a lot of money on weddings. I could not imagine spending even more than $5,000 on a wedding. Like, I would literally be like, I'll take myself, my partner. This is if I ever got married. No, I'm not really the marrying kind. But like, if I was to get married, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go. I've always said this. I would love to go to Iceland and get married under the Northern Lights, or at least just in Iceland somewhere. And I'd have like 1 or 2 family members there or something. I might even get like a family member to, you know, that you can do that like online thing where you can ordain yourself or whatever. And I could have someone who I care about do the ceremony or something. But that's all I would want to do. And that would be like what used to be about £500 for maybe like 2 or 3 days. Say it's now £700 per person. That's still less than £5,000. And then you got like food costs or any sort of excursions you might want to do while you're there, because Iceland is so pretty. I would love to do something like that to get married. I would not be spending 20 or 60,000 pounds on a fucking wedding. It's literally a party. Spend that money on your relationship. Put that money towards a home, towards the rest of your life together. Not a fucking party that's literally one day. It is insane.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
And it feels like the planning has been all to make sure she gets her dream wedding. The problem is, her at-home life isn't great. Her relationship with her parents, especially her father, isn't good. She relies on me for a lot. And if I step away, I know I would just be abandoning her. That's not really your responsibility, though. You feel super disconnected from this relationship. You are not doing any favours to her. Like, she must have friends. If she's paying 60 grand for a wedding, at the end of the day, she must have friends that are going to this wedding that she could stay with. Should I sacrifice my happiness for hers? I really do still love her. Lately, I've been getting anxiety attacks. That's not a good thing. About it raining. As the venue is supposed to be outside. Oh, okay, so it's just literally about the weather. I thought you meant like their relationship. And I know she is going to be pissed if we have to whip out umbrellas or move to an indoor space. Feels like we are gambling 60 grand just because I can't eat, sleep, and I feel like it's becoming too much for me and I don't know what to do. I cancelled a wedding this close. Life is too short to be unhappy. As my dad said, it's better to do it now than years down the track when kids are involved. Yep, if you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy 60 grand later. It's much less expensive to lose your deposits and any money on the wedding than it is to actually go through the expense of a divorce. You should never, ever marry anybody unless you're 100% committed to the other. Trust your gut. Walk now. Yep, good advice. It will hurt worse to stay in an unhappy relationship than it will be to leave. Sometimes love isn't enough. You can still love her and wish the best for her, but at the same time, know in your heart that you deserve better. Don't stay just out of fear of abandoning her in turn for your own happiness. Totally agree. Anyway, I know this one was a quick one, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. I feel like I'd really appreciate it. I will be doing a crime video next. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.